somebody comes to you with a problem that you don't know how to fix, honestly, it's not your job to fix it. But since you care about that person, because the only people who can probably contact you and you would answer are people that are close in your life, you're going to want to help that person as much as possible. First, what you want to do is understand that it's okay not to have the answers. And sometimes, depending on who's complaining to you, and I'm not saying that they're complaining, but depending on who you're speaking to, they might not even want an answer. They might just want you to listen. So when somebody comes to you, if they have a problem, depending on how much distress they're in. So let's break this down by distress level. Distress level one, it is what it is kind of person. They tell you about it, but they don't get into it too much because they feel like they're complaining. This person's kind of standoffish when it comes to getting help from anybody. So you won't really have to do much. Just and listen because they know their own they know what they need to do and they know what they know their problems. They don't need solutions. They just need your ear. But vice versa. One day you might need an ear too. And most people are. It is what it is, people. You feel what I'm saying? So just be there. More in detail. Just because this person is somebody that you care about or that you love, only listen to the amount that you're comfortable with. Because just because you love somebody doesn't mean you can't have boundaries and you know what I'm saying? And obviously set rules. If you don't want to hear it, you don't have to. Even if you do love the person, just to make that clear. Number two, it's kind of like irritated, angry about it. Now, this is when somebody is explaining something to you, but they're angry when they're explaining it. So it's more like the more they explain it to you, the madder they get. So it's like, man, bro, they can't stand still. They can't stop it. And this is going to be the warning sign. If somebody's sitting down and talking to you, first of all, I just want to say this right now. They're about 10 seconds away from doing something that they probably shouldn't do. I'm telling you, if somebody hella pissed off and they're trying to explain something to you and their legs start shaking, that shit is still affecting them to this moment. They're still angry. So just be mindful of what you say. Because I mean, you angry. You in a heightened emotional state. You know, you may go ask somebody for help and you're in a heightened emotional state, and they may not have meant how their words came out. But since you're so emotional, you're probably going to end up taking it the wrong way and you could possibly tarnish that friendship. How do I know? Because I've done it once. Now, I didn't tarnish the friendship at all. We're still very good friends to this day, but it was a rough day and that was on me. You know, the reason I'm making this video is so others don't make the same mistake I did, or if others just want to learn how to be there for thy fellow man. Number three, crying is going to be, it's overwhelming at first because when somebody comes to you crying, the first thing you want to know is why, why? Why are you crying? Why is it? You know what I'm saying? And you want them to explain to you, you want them to tell it to you, but they're crying. They're not going to, they're not going to sit there and be like, okay, so this is what happened. Can you pass me a cup of coffee? No, they're going to be everywhere, damn near hysterical. Now, depending on what happened, this person could be sad, mad. I know when I cry, when I get pushed to the point of tears, that is beyond what I normally go through because I don't cry a lot, but I cry a lot. You feel what I'm saying? And for me to cry, I have to feel deeply and extremely. And when I do, I do. You feel what I'm saying? When I do, I do. And I know how I feel at that time. So it'd be stupid not to assume that others feel the same way. See, when somebody comes to you with a problem, you assume nothing, but you assume everything. Okay? Don't put anything off the table until you get to the bottom of why this person is crying. I'm not teaching you how to be a people pleaser. Again, if you don't want to deal with the person that comes to you with a problem, then just don't. You can simply say respectfully, I hope everything is good. I hope everything gets better. But right now, this would ruin my peace. You know what I'm saying? If you're anything like me, you can't hear fucked up shit for too long, or it's going to rot your brain. It's going to make you think like, oh shit, what if that happens? You tell me, you feel what I'm saying? And then you start to overthink it. And then you get caught in this loop of bad negativity of like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen to another human being. Well, relax. Okay. Relax. Everybody's meant to go through something. You know what I'm saying? Yours might not be as bad as theirs, or theirs might not be as bad as yours, but it's a competition. It doesn't really matter about who gets it worse. I guess it kind of just matters about how you kind of navigate through it, really. Um, so that's one thing when it comes to dealing with like super, 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 super emotional people. Just beware of everything. Okay. You're on, if they came to you, you're not really on a landmine, because if somebody comes to you and you give them comfort and you give them a shoulder and you just be a person, and then they get mad at you for trying to comfort them even though they came to you and they didn't have to come to you and they didn't even ask to come to you, which completely violates some of your boundaries. But at the end of the day, the person's emotional, so they're not gonna give a fuck about none of that shit. So if it ever gets to, oh, let me hold the video. So if it ever gets to a point where it's like getting too much, again, you know, snip it in the butt right then and there so it doesn't evolve. Because if you let somebody do something once, they'll probably think it's okay to do it twice, then 3 times, then 4 times. And then before you know it, it's been 3 years and you can't tell them to stop because you let it go all this time. But you can, but you're afraid because you'll feel bad because you've been doing it for long enough. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The editing style was a little new for me, but it felt really natural. By the way, it felt very natural. So I'm definitely going to do it again. Let me know how you guys feel. We're getting to 700 by June, and then we're going to get to 1,000 by the end of this year. And I would appreciate if you guys were along for that ride. So I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And further ado, this video is over.